It's gone quiet again. And another first aid. Okay, I'll take it. And then that's the little device that we need, right? It's a portable radar receiver. You've got the radar receiver. Okay.
You're still alive. Such persistence.
Nikolai?
Sorry, but there is no escape from here.
What the That is ridiculous. We know too much. Negotiate with Nikolai, return fire to the chopper. I'm gonna return fire. I mean, negotiate, come on. I failed to see how we're going to make this work, but oof. It's a different kind of boss battle. Wasn't expecting this. Sheesh. I'm not doing so well. Got him. I mean, there's only so many rockets a helicopter can withstand. Bye-bye, Nikolai.
Jill, what happened?
Carlos. The choppers.
I guess this is it then. But I don't want to die in a place like this. This isn't over yet. I'm not giving up, Jill. We still have a chance.
What is our chance?
I am not going to give up.
Okay, before that, just a quick look around here. Okay, nice, but not that nice. Since I unfortunately couldn't find the Magnum.
Jill, that's it. We've got to find a way out of here, now!
Warning. Missile attack confirmed. Warning. Missile attack confirmed. Emergency level D. All personnel evacuate immediately.
Okay, don't have too much choice here. Let's just go. We are slowly starting to run a bit low now. It's a decent amount still, but not crazy, so we have to watch out. Right. Yeah, I mean, we've been sealed off, so let's just go. They haven't given us a countdown, but still try and keep things quick. Ah, they have given us one of these though. At this stage, I think I'm probably better off just combining these. Or am I? I'm going to keep all of these here, just in case. Nice. Just glad I did that. The rest of them are staying put, so I'm going to have a tap around quickly just in case I miss something else. Doesn't seem to be the case. Okay. The shotgun shells are clutch. I feel like I might face more hordes, so I'm going to go for this for now. He says, and then... Come on now. Don't tell me it's that giant thing again. I thought we'd pick something up. Who is... Wait. The body of a huge human-shaped creature. A burnt smell permeates the air. Wow. Okay. Whoa. This is one of Umbrella's deadly bioweapons. There's just so many of them, man. They're endless. How are you supposed to beat them all? You can't. The circuit cores part... What? The circuit's core part. A huge cable connects it. Okay. Just these guys coming in from everywhere. Look at them. Sheesh. Yeah, it feels like there's just going to be another Nemesis type of guy showing up soon. Power distribution not working.
Checking system. Checking battery. Warning, there is not enough power to activate the system.
Okay, is there anywhere I can control this from? Not sure what I'm supposed to do with this information. Unless there is a way to go back. Right. Supply all the power to external devices. I mean, none of this stuff is going to help. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to change the distribution or what I'm supposed to do here. Is this a keypad thing? Oh, for God's sake, it's another one of these stupid... Like, when you press when you press X on, like, the PlayStation controller, it does this, obviously. But... it's really weird. Okay. I don't know if there's some kind of mapping issue or like a control issue where... So I'm actually stuck, weirdly. The momentum's just been sucked out of the game because I can't move forward now. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, my assumption is you've got to push these in. But you can't. There you go. So stupidly clunky, man. Should not be that hard. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah. Not surprised here. Just a blob at this point. Is he gonna, like, regenerate through that? Oh my God. How do I even deal with that? How do I even deal with that? I'm going to combine those two together as well. Okay. Just push me into a corner, man. Huh? I think we've fought Nemesis, or like whatever the hell this is, so recently that maybe we don't have to. Again, it's worth a look. Yeah, okay. I don't think we have to fight, but that's good. Whoa. Ugh. Come on, do it.
Rail cannon has been activated. Executing quick charge program. Preparing to fire.
Thank God for that. Huh? What? I don't understand what happened there. Huh? Confused.
Resident Evil 3.
What was it like? I continue getting beaten up while that happened, or something? What? Well, that was a nonsense. Okay. I'm definitely going to save state there because that just didn't make sense at all. That's a waste of time. Why did I even die? I didn't do anything wrong. I'm innocent. Okay, I didn't pick this up last time, so I want to have a quick look at this. This incinerator plant is one of the facilities that burns the disposable items which are sent from the laboratory. The incinerator burns the waste materials that cannot be decomposed at the treatment room. It also supplies electricity to the facility by a thermal-powered electricity generator. Part of the electricity is stored in the big battery installed in the facility's underground area. The electricity is used as an auxiliary power source. The auxiliary power circuit will be activated once the 3 auxiliary circuit units are properly placed in their sockets. In case the circuits are not connected automatically, a person can connect them manually to activate the system. Okay. So let's make preparations again. Honestly, I'm in a worse position than I was last time, but I just don't care. I'm gonna combine these two. Yeah, I used some more grenade launcher stuff than last time, but whatever. I'm gonna try my luck again and see if I can make it through without actually attacking it, because there's no way that that's like the final area. It can't be the case. So we'll see. Okay, I think I've understood what happened last time. The number underneath the caution is actually a countdown. I thought it was a proximity to, like, I don't know, someone attacking me, but it's of the actual missile itself. So because the game's giving you a whole bunch of like standard countdowns, it's very obvious, like a timer on the screen. That's what I was looking at, but this is more like a proximity countdown. And so I think I dallied around a lot in the last one, and so it hit 0 during the cutscene. I just didn't have enough time. So I think that's what it was. But obviously with this, again, I'm struggling. There you go. The pushing is just really stupid. It's weirdly inaccurate, and there's no like cutscene skipping here. You can't press start and go quick. So you have to watch all of this, I think. So it's all eating away time. And so I have to make sure I deal with all of this before it hits 0. That's why I died mid-cutscene last time. Okay. I need to set this off as quick as I can. Go, go, go. Ugh. Come on. Come on! Please! Just push the thing! Please push it, for the love of God. Okay. Oof.
Battery connected. Rail cannon has been activated. Executing quick charge program. Preparing to fire.
Do I wait for this to charge up the door, or am is this supposed to help me, like, kill this creature? I'm just gonna be on the run again. Hope I get lucky. Let me swap this with this. Oh shit. No! Equip. I'm running out of time. Alright, something's happening.
3, 2, 1, fire.
Whoa. Okay. Sheesh. No. Don't get stuck there. So I think I'm supposed to use this to kill it.
4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
But obviously it's not working, so...
4, 3, 2, 1.
It's really smart, it's stopped following me now, I think. Come on, buddy. Come on, bud. Okay, I'll take that hit. I'll take that hit. So, it's doing more damage than I ever could. No, not this time. Not this time.
4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Oh, I think it worked. It worked, okay. It's going to take a little more time. It's kind of funny how much I must have dallied around the first time for the timer to hit 0, because you do have a significant amount of time.
4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Here we go. That's a decisive shot. Nemesis Mark 27 dead.
Warning. System overheating. Enter cooldown mode.
Okay, but can we get through the door? Yes. Okay. Freaking Nemesis. Okay, running out of time. Come on now. You've got to be kidding me. Run. Just run. Exterminate the monster, ignore it, and evacuate. I'm gonna exterminate this fucker, you know what? Screw you. Oh, I get the Magnum for doing that? That's gangster.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
Oh, that was worth it. That was worth it. That was badass. Stars. Take that. So do I get a Magnum now, or is that was just for that cutscene? I don't know how that worked, but okay. I want to leave here with my head held high, so I'm gonna be on full health here. Okay, let's go. Elevator control panel, will you operate it? Yes, I will. Come on, stop asking me questions. Gotta hurry.
Jill!
It's over, Carlos.
What are you talking about? Don't you hear that? There's a second chopper, and it's here to rescue you!
But who is it? Who could possibly be looking for me?
It doesn't matter, we just have to be there when it lands.
I think we made it. This is the final cutscene.
Thanks. You saved us.
I couldn't let you die.
Is it you?
Are you ready to finish this?
It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the end.
Wow. Literally the end of Raccoon City.
That's it. Umbrella's gone down.
Wow, they literally nuked Raccoon City. Holy shit. Wow.
And now we have a rather unfortunate turn of events. It seems that the President and the Federal Council have passed judgment over the civilians of Raccoon City. The President and Federal Council have ruled that the Bacillus Terminate operation is the best course of action for this extreme situation, and have since executed. Based on that fact, Raccoon City has been literally wiped off the map. Current reports have the death toll surpassing the 100,000 mark. Our hearts go out to those poor civilians of Raccoon City.
That is insane. Wow. Just completely gave up on the city and nuked it. Whoa. But hey, Jill made it out, I guess. There we go. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, my friends, the OG version, played on the GameCube emulator. So yeah, this one was definitely a bit more of a mixed bag than 1 and 2. I don't have like the overwhelmingly positive feeling that I had from those two. And if I had to summarize it, I would say, I think for me at least, it's very tough for me to review this in 2023 because some games age better than others, and I've said it throughout, and I feel the same way at this stage. The OG Resident Evil, I did play the HD remaster technically, but like in terms of the controls and the style and all of that kind of stuff, it is the OG Resident Evil experience. But I think, I mean, literally having spent the last 12 months playing Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok and all that kind of stuff, it just makes it so much harder to go back to a game like this and to enjoy it to the same level that I could have like 15 years ago or 20 years ago or even further. So in that sense, the odds are so stacked against it that it feels almost unfair to try and compare it to any contemporary game. So I'm not really going to do that. I will say, like, compared to Resident Evil 1, I still feel like I like the sort of style of Resident Evil 1 a little bit better than 3. I did appreciate the kind of change in scenery where we had a bit more outdoor kind of city areas and that kind of thing. But I would say I still prefer the atmosphere and feel of the first game and some of the puzzles and that kind of thing. I would say like the stuff with Barry in the first game I found more interesting than say Carlos in this game. Carlos was a very kind of generic action hero guy. I did find like the kind of the setup with the lab and all that kind of stuff in the first game. The fact that you had Chris's story as well, Wesker, the lab, and like the more about the Genesis and that kind of stuff. The story side and the character cast side I found more interesting in the first 2 games as well. Okay, let me interrupt this for a sec just to see. So 722, yeah, so it seems par for the course. I thought I was slower, but it doesn't count obviously all of the kind of resets that you do in between. And so I did get a nice big fat grade F there. And I'm sure, again, I think like for the first game, a lot of the grade is to do with how little you save. But for me, having a lot of saves is literally the way I do my job and the way I play games anyway. So unless I'm specifically targeting a high grade, I don't really care. So let's see if this unlocks anything. You can play the extra game. The extra game. Epilogue. After escaping the city, Jill set out to join Chris Redfield. However, all she found was an empty hideout of Chris's. On the floor was Chris's knife. Jill left without hesitation because she firmly believes that Chris is still alive. She will search for him until she finds him. Then they can go and put an end to Umbrella. I don't know if I have to press X here, but I will. Okay. So that was the epilogue. I thought it was going to maybe launch into a section. It does say next game. I think this just means like New Game Plus, essentially. But let's see.
Resident Evil 3.
3. Which data will you load? Continue. I think this is just going to give you the same thing, no? Epilogue files. But does this mean that every time I complete the game I get more epilogue files? Is that how it works? This is something I'm going to have to look up and I'll share with you guys, depending on how it goes. I'm not too sure how that works. Okay. I mean, this game doesn't have the 2 stories, which is a bit of a shame. I think a lot of people do enjoy playing through both stories, and for Resident Evil 2 Remake at least, it was definitely cool to be able to do that, so it is a bit of a shame. But I'm going to try a few of these options and just see what it gives me here.
It all began as an ordinary day in September. An ordinary day in Raccoon City. A city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them.
This is Chopper Delta.
Yeah, it's just restarting the game basically. And I don't get a difficulty choice here either. Yeah. Okay. Just going to cycle through all these options for you guys just so you can see what's available too. Because I want to play the remake too, I'm not going to go, like, if there is that, like, much extra content that's not kind of story related, etc. I'm not going to go too much into it, but I am curious about this. What are the Mercenaries? Operation Mad Jackal. I think this must be some kind of, like, boss rush or some shit like that. Or is this like the B story? Yeah, I think these are like challenges here. Damn. Let's go for Mikhail. Yeah, I think this is a more like arcadey kind of thing that you can do for fun. They have forgotten what fear and survival mean. It's time for them to remember.
Welcome. The rules are simple. In order to dispose of the bomb implanted in your body, you must reach the target point. Keep in mind that there will be various obstacles in your way, so do not be afraid to use whatever means necessary to reach your goal. Good luck.
Very well. Oh. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, so this is their way of kind of reusing the map and not giving you any more story, but if you do want to have some fun and spend some more time in Raccoon City, I guess you can. So you start inside the train. It was like here or something, no? Yeah. Oh wow, okay. I think what I'll do is I'll just start kind of reviewing the game at this point and give you guys some background footage of this as I go. And so, yeah, in that sense it was definitely weaker, so even if I'm comparing more like apples to apples, where I'm trying to compare like, you know, Resident Evil 1 and 3 for example, I still feel like this one doesn't hit the heights of the first game. And so in general I would say there were some things that were better, I think, like Jill having a greater arsenal of weapons overall was cool. Because we only had one basically playthrough and not two different characters / stories, they kind of combined them both into one, which I guess made for a better kind of single gameplay experience, if that makes sense. so you could cover more of the bases with just one character. And so I thought that was cool. You had the dodging mechanics, you had the slightly more open areas, which were kind of nice. And I think the variety was actually pretty decent. We had like the big spiders, we had lots of dogs, we had lots of standard zombies. Then we had the guys that like run in, decapitate you. We had more like the creature types. There were various types of Nemesis to fight as well. So I would say in that sense they definitely tried to enrich the experience and not just literally make the same game again. But does it elevate it to make it a better experience than the first game? Not really, not for me, I would say. Now, it does still hold up because the overall formula, I've come to enjoy the Resident Evil formula so much that fundamentally I have been having fun playing Resident Evil games. And I think even ones that are not as good as the best ones, it seems like they're in that kind of category where I'll still enjoy playing through them. And for this one, it's the same. In terms of like the actual horror and fear factor, I would say that Nemesis is still probably the scariest thing. Like overall, I would say it's probably still the scariest thing that I've met in Resident Evil. Nemesis, like the way he pops out of nowhere sometimes really does freak me out, and he is good for a jump scare. But I think much like Resident Evil 1, I can't say this was a particularly scary game. I think Nemesis did make me jump once, but I think other than that, it's generally been fine. In that sense, I'm looking more forward to Resident Evil 3 Remake, where again, because of the more like modern visuals and probably like sound design, all that kind of stuff, I could definitely get more scared in Resident Evil 3 Remake. And well, number 4 we'll just have to see as well how they're gonna do it in the remake and how scary it's gonna be as well. But so far at least, Resident Evil continues to be in that sort of sweet spot where yes, there is some intense moments, there's some action, even the odd jump scare. But I wouldn't say it's anything that's like, oh, it's so scary that I can't play it or that I'm not enjoying it or anything like that. So it is a bit of a blessing and a curse where I guess a lot of people want their Resident Evil games to be really scary, and that's part of the entire thrill and the enjoyment. But for me, that's not like the absolute primary reason I want to play Resident Evil. It's not for the horror factor. So in that sense, it works out pretty well for me still. And I continue to generally enjoy the Resident Evil franchise and its approach to its sort of horror and action and adventure kind of combination in the game and the experience. And so even though it wasn't as good as the first, I would still give it like a 7 out of 10. I think like I didn't love it that much, but I would say the runtime is short enough that it doesn't sort of overstay its welcome. And for a game that's so old that I'm kind of going back to experience the roots of, I think in this sense it being shorter is better for me. If this game was double the length and it had the same kind of gameplay and controls, it would really, really wear me down and I'd have a lot less fun with it. So the fact that it's short actually was a good thing. Now the first game wasn't exactly the longest one. It was a bit longer, but you did have 2 different campaigns. So potentially in terms of content, the first game was also superior. And so I would say that the first game also beats it out on that front as well. The second game, Resident Evil 2 Remake, we also had the 2 stories anyway. And I think the OG Resident Evil 2 also had 2 stories. So obviously you are literally getting less content from this third game as well. So I think it is pretty clear, and for most people that I've spoken to, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are big fans of 3 and that really love it, but when I always ask people what are your favourite Resident Evil games, I very rarely ever hear 3. It's almost always 1, 2 or 4. So having played it now, it doesn't surprise me, and it's definitely not my favourite so far. But that said, I still had a good time. But the main thing I think for me was just trying to kind of readjust again to using the tank controls. And after everything, like the hundreds of hours I've spent playing the modern sort of third-person action open world kind of games, obviously coming back to this and trying to pick up the pace, having selected the hardest difficulty that I could from the bat, was probably not the best idea. And so I did make it a bit harder for myself than I could have, and I did suffer more than I would have usually, I think, if I picked an easier difficulty, or if I had less of a gap between playing, let's say, the original Resident Evil and this one. So that adjustment was tough. I did waste a lot more resources, the controls felt more clunky, and there were times in the game, I mean, you saw like sometimes trying to push certain things, or to activate certain things, or to get around certain areas. I think they tried to kind of expand the gameplay a little bit more, like make the areas a bit bigger, introduce dodging, make it a bit more dynamic, but I feel like the fundamental sort of limitations of having tank controls and the fixed camera just make it increasingly difficult to have like a dynamic game experience with that. And so I feel like the first game suited it better than the third game did. It was kind of novel and interesting for the first game, but it's definitely not something that I would say I enjoyed, and it's something I more kind of tolerated in order to be able to experience the OG games and kind of enjoy the other aspects of the game and the story and the experience. So yeah, not going to drag this out too long because we still have Resident Evil 3 Remake to play as well, which I'm interested in seeing to see how they've kind of adapted it from this one. But for now, I will say that, yeah, it was about a 7 out of 10 for me. Nothing too special. I did generally have a good time. But I would say the cast and what we did get of the story didn't have as much like fun, intrigue and charisma as the first game. And the gameplay was a little bit clunky and difficult for me to get into, especially after the last like 12-13 months of gaming that I've been doing, and well, objectively there is less in this game than there was in the first two. So I think I'm going to keep it short and sweet and wrap it up there. Thank you to everybody that's been watching. I know there's a passionate chunk of Resident Evil fans that are watching the content. I apologize if this one was a little bit clunkier on my end, because I did struggle more with this one. And this is the kind of struggle I would have expected with the first game, but it kind of hit me a bit more in the third one. And that first half of the game just really had me struggling. Second half, I would say, was definitely much better. And once I kind of caught up to the speed of the game, I had a lot more resources available, I had a lot more healing available. And I think weirdly the game gave you a lot more in the second half as well. I'm still pretty convinced that the game was very lenient in the second half relative to the first. So it did kind of save me, but I would say it was a bit more frustrating for me and probably for you guys than I would have liked it to have been at the start. But hopefully that was just for this particular game and that particular segment of it. I think the remake will be much more business as usual, because it's the kind of modern gaming style that I'm used to. And then Resident Evil 4 Remake will be more of the same anyway. So thank you all for watching. I will be back with Resident Evil 3 Remake very soon. Take care.